so much of what happens in the world. And I think will continue to be a major driver of what's going to happen what's going to drive this whole globalization and continue to drive a lot of globalization. Because if we, again, I'm trying to avoid getting into politics, but if we draw a circle around our country, I think it's just going to, the other countries aren't going to do that. And they're just going to become more competitive by helping each other get stronger. So I think we have to participate in that global economy. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves on the wrong side of the equation. That's just my simple way of looking at the world, because I think money follows the best value.
And when you were talking about your vision of and your purpose and your work in helping and working with others, I was envisioning, just in my idealistic view that I love to focus on, I was thinking, because the world is smaller, that perhaps if we are able to just focus on the fact that the world is smaller and we're able to reach each other in that sense, there's tremendous opportunity by doing that. And a lot of phenomenal things can happen in those ways as well.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you another example. And again, it goes back to my purpose and calling. You know, we can help people, water.org is helping people throughout the world. My client in Texas is helping people throughout the world. We're sending money to Africa to build houses through that client. He's sending money to charities in order to, give Bibles to kids around the world. Regardless of what our politics are, individually, we have to decide if we're going to help just our neighbors or our extended neighbors, right? And I'm a believer that you help as many people as you can, not just the people in New Jersey, where I live, not just the people in this country, but whoever you can anywhere in the world. That's the most rewarding thing to me, is helping people. So if I can help somebody in this country or another country, I don't think it's a bad thing. And I'm committed to people, not just Americans. Now, that doesn't mean I don't love America. I do. It doesn't mean I'm not committed to America and that I won't protect America. I will. But I still, part of who I am, want to extend myself beyond just, the people in America, help as many people as we can.
Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking when we were talking about companies, because business it's become impossible in global economy to consider ourselves isolated over the past, more than 20 years, probably 50 years or more.
Yeah.
So it just was a thought that I had, and was curious of your opinion.
Yeah, to me, that's just, if you go back and look at when I was president of R. Donnelley Financial, I probably had one of the most diverse teams ever, right? I had 4 men and 4 women. I had 2 Jewish men on my team. I had, I was the only African American, but we had a very diverse team, right? And we had outstanding results. And I think as Americans, if we don't take advantage of the world's diversity, right, then we're going to be not as effective as those who are, right?
I agree.
The value of diversity is so powerful. So I think utilizing, I'm more than happy to help a business anywhere in the world if they want to use my services. And I think that, that's what makes businesses strong today, because it is a global footprint, and the best and brightest ideas are the ones that are going to get that business to the highest of levels from wherever they can resource those ideas.
Now, I know one of the challenges, for example, with women in politics is that women, for whatever reason, again, challenge themselves by not putting themselves in play to get into those positions. is that similar in terms of getting a diverse board, for example, globally, getting in play to even be considered?
To be considered to help a foreign international company? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, for example, to be a diverse board on a global scale. Are we even putting ourselves in play in those positions to be considered?
To be considered to be on a board, you said?
Yeah, a diverse board on a global scale.
Women or just people in general?
Just a diverse board. For example, if you, me, a diverse board, a Black man, a woman, a Jewish person, a whole diverse, an Asian person.
Yeah. Why are they not? So, yeah, I think, I'm never one to blame anyone for holding me back, right? Or keeping me from getting somewhere. Maybe they are trying, but I never fall back on that. So to your point, I think if you want something, whether you're a man or woman, black, white, whoever you are, right? I think you have to prepare yourself and then go get it. Now, will there be roadblocks for various people based on sex and race and that sort of thing? I would say that historically, the answer would say yes. But I would also say those who have broken through because they have tried, right? So at a minimum, we owe it to ourselves to try and then leave it up to someone else whether or not they want to block it,
Right.
and to keep fighting through it, but not to limit ourselves from uh, keep not to limit ourselves and not go for it because of a fear that someone might try to block it. So I say go for it. We should all go for it. And then people who try to block you, if they have to deal with that and the consequences associated with it. Because typically, someone who's in a position to go for it probably can bring significant value to that organization. And I always look at it as, if you don't want that value, it's your loss more than because we shouldn't have to beg for anything. We're more than qualified, so you go for it.
Right. And so one of the things that occurs to me, Terry, is some of the positioning that you've done in your past hasn't been really, when I was at Donnelly, for example, it was well noted. Your board, your leadership we're both gone, so I can say this freely without any political sort of, nuances. You were the most effective board that had been there for years, and I don't know about since because I haven't been there, but it was noted, and it had nothing to do with race or sex or anything. It was just the most effective, period.
You mean the business team?
The
When you say
business
board,
team,
you mean the business team?
the business
Yeah.
team, everything about it. Now, whether that could be used as an example to go forward as the example of what a diverse board could do, and then position that as a way of helping others in terms of your purpose, I mean, that could be a lovely illustration of how your work goes forward in a different way also.
There's probably some truth to that, in helping others, create as much value as they can. Again, when you don't have the diversity, you're just limiting some various points of views, especially in a world where the consumers are diverse. If you've got everybody that comes from the same background and the same experiences, you're going to miss out on a lot. So I've never wanted to say diversity for diversity's sake. There are a lot of talented people out there of all races, of all sex, and people just have to go and believe that diversity is a strength,
Right.
and not that they're just trying to fill out a color code, right?
Right.
but that they see the real value of diversity and how it actually helps the team. I've lived it, I've seen it, and I truly believe in it, in all forms. I do also think that it's a responsibility of everybody who's in an organization to speak up if the organization is not diverse. So if I walk into a room and it's not diverse, it's everybody's fault, in my opinion, that's on that team, because no one has, has said anything about it, and the opportunities that they're missing out as a result of, not saying anything about it.
Well, I agree. And I just think that I just get excited by the possibility and the potential in terms of broadening it to a global opportunity as well. Because when I think of taking that message to more of a platform where it can broaden opportunities in a global bridge, it opens doors of thoughts where I'm thinking, but that could open conversations in ways that haven't been opened before. So I'm just thinking that's quite exciting.
Yeah, and then part of what we do in level 5 is we help organizations think through everything that can create value for them. So if we see that as an opportunity and a priority for creating value, we talk about that.
I'm excited to hear that, and I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's next? It sounds like you've got all these things covered. What excites you in terms of what might be next for you that you haven't done yet? What haven't you done?
Well, I don't see myself retiring, but I'm really excited about this fifth level capital. If you look at my track record, there's a guy, Jim Donnelly, who was one of the grandsons of Donnelly. He gave me one of the highest compliments when I was there. He said, we were at a reception. He came up to me, and it just moved me to a different position. And he said, Terry, the one thing about you is everything you touch turned into gold. And that was a great compliment coming from the founders. I don't know if he's the grandson or great grandson, but I really like Jim Donnelly, not just because of that compliment, but because of just who he was. But anyway, what I've learned over time is that I've helped companies be very successful and make, billions of dollars of stock market value. I now have, started level 5 management consulting, and now I'm helping private companies create significant value for their families and legacy. My next frontier is to now, invest in some companies through private equity. So that's why I started Fifth Level Capital. I'm in the process of launching that and raising some capital to go out and invest in businesses where my investors will own a piece. I will own some of it as well. So there'll be some opportunities coming out of level 5 that fits nicely into that. I get exposure to a lot of different industries as part of level 5, which will allow me to then handpick those industries that I think have the best opportunities, and then raise capital to enter those industries as more of an owner with some, limited partners. So that's my next venture. I'm really excited about that. I put some of my own capital to work recently and some private investment that I'm really excited about. And now that next venture is raising capital and putting some other people's money to work under my leadership to try to create significant value. So really excited about that.
That is
Looking
exciting.
forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be different enough to feel like it's a different venture in some respects as well, wouldn't it?
Well, it's different in that as a consultant, you create a lot of value, but it's for the client. Obviously, I get paid very well for providing that advice. But now, as a private equity fund, you can create even more value and actually have ownership in the companies that you're creating value for. So I obviously own level 5, I own fifth level capital, and now fifth level capital will go out combining some of my capital with others and looking for other companies to purchase and improve and grow to create even more value. So looking forward to that. Excited about it because I think that brings all my skills together. It brings my finance skills, my running of businesses, my ability that I've shown to figure out where the value is and then extract that value, and my ability to take something that's good and turn into something great.
Great.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. And personally,
Yeah.
you have a party, at least one in May to look forward to, right?
It's going to be June. It's going
June.
to be June. So we're going to combine them together. So that's why we're going to wait until my daughter graduates from high school. We thought about having 2, but then family would have to come in twice from around the country. So we're just going to have it at the end of June. They both agreed to that. So we'll have family coming in June.
That
Looking
sounds
forward
fun.
to it.
Well, tell me how people can get in touch with you so we can make sure that I
Well,
post it.
sure. My website is level5llc.com. So that's levelfivellc.com. If someone wants to email me, they can email me at ttrayvick at level5llc.com. So that's TTRAY, V as in Victor, ICK at LEVELFIVELLC.com. ttrayvick at level5llc.com.
And I'll have all that on the notes as well. And Terry, before we sign off, if there is anything that you'd like to add that I didn't ask or that we didn't talk about, what would it be?
I would just say that my life has been very blessed. I am where I should be, and I'm content with that. I feel like there's a lot more in front of me. I'm excited about where my journey is going, and I'm just enjoying life, both from a work perspective, my family. I also want to make sure that I give kudos not only to my mother and father, but to my siblings who I thought had a great part of, helping me get to where I am. We have a lot of fun as well, and they taught me a lot of things as a kid. I was the youngest in my family, and I could say I learned a lot from each of them. So appreciate them as well.
Before we sign off, tell me how many siblings you have.
I have four siblings. Yeah. Yeah. So I've like I would go back and say family is so important to me, and both my parents, my siblings, even my grandparents, extended family, my current family, my wife and children. I've had nothing but exceptional support throughout my life from my family. And I would say I have a few friends that are like family as well who have been very supportive. So it's good to be grounded around with people around you who care about you and are encouraging you, throughout your life. And I feel like I've had that. So I'm blessed from that perspective.
Thank you. Thank you very much.